My name is Paul Fuzinski, and I love all things outdoors. After through hiking the Appalachian Trail, my passion for travel and adventure has taken me to some pretty crazy places and has allowed me to try some pretty awesome things. Come hang out and learn with me and my friends as we get into the thick of it here at Aptitude Outdoors.
All right, we're back again for the third edition of Tales from the Trail with the one and only Mr. Bill Hoefflin. Bill, why don't you give the world a quick introduction to you as a man, as a hero?
Oh my goodness.
As a true American hero, please describe yourself in 400 words or less.
400 words or less, I can't do it.
Okay.
I know. We'll go with a lot less. Naturalist, angler, hunter, dad, woodworker, kayaker.
I like that description.
Everything outdoors.
No bullshit. Just a regular American hero. So we're out here today at WW Night. We're switching it up a bit. The last couple I've done have been at oak openings. And man, it is cold.
Yeah, it is cold.
Is this our first below freezing day for the year?
Well, for the season.
So far. I mean,
yeah.
It's 32 right now. And just say I'm glad I keep a bunch of coats and junk in my car all the time, because I rolled out this morning and was not super prepared for this cold weather. But whatever, we're gonna have some fun today. So what have you been up to, man? Bill and I do a lot of stuff together, but you know, lately we've both been super busy. I haven't really had a chance to get together with you.
A little bit of perch fishing.
Nice.
Practicing archery in anticipation of some deer hunting.
Nice.
Catching up on everything that needs to be done before winter hits has been the big thing.
I haven't done that.
Sometimes you get so busy doing all the fun stuff of summer, and you put everything off that needs to be done before winter. And that's where I am right now.
And I mean, deer season's in full swing.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of us have been out yet.
Nope.
Which is a super bummer. But I mean, that's life sometimes. Actually, you are the person who got me into hunting. My first hunting, legit hunting trip was with you. I love that shit. It was so fun and it was miserable. I think I'm just driven to things that make me really miserable. And hunting is one of them.
Yeah, hunting can be one of them for sure.
No, my experience with hunting so far is that it has been super cold, wet, get up at 4 a.m. Oh, that means how long?
It really sounds like you're maybe not looking forward to getting into waterfowl hunting, because that's all of those things.
My mic came unplugged. Check. Sorry, we had a technical difficulty there.
Gotta love glitches.
Mic came unplugged, but hey, that's what happens when you're a one-man show out here. So, yeah, you said waterfowl hunting is all of those things: cold, nasty, wet.
Yes.
Have you done any waterfowl hunting?
Very infrequently. It's one of the more expensive hunting modes to get into.
What makes it so pricey?
Decoys, waders, boats, even the shells to do it are more expensive.
Really?
Yes.
And the payoff's not as, not to say it's not
they're beautiful birds. If you're into taxidermy, you're not going to find a better source for taxidermy than waterfowl.
I like the whole deer thing because they're big and you get to eat them. And
yes, they feed you for a while.
It's quite the experience. And I don't know, the first time I killed a deer, you were out there with me. Do you want to tell the people how I reacted to that experience the opposite way you're supposed to?
Well, I was sitting at the other end of the woods, and pretty much once the shot rang out, you texted me, and it was pretty clear you're already losing your shit. You're just so excited. It was awesome.
It was like, anybody who hunts frequently, you know, it's probably just like, yeah, they get that feeling. But man, that first deer hunt experience, shot it, and like that like 5 to 10 seconds before you pull that trigger, I've never felt adrenaline like that. My heart, like I thought the deer could hear my heart pumping. It was so loud. I didn't have headphones in. I was just me out there. It was cold, like real cold. And
Mallard.
I shouldered up the shotgun. I'm sitting there. This thing just like, I don't know how much closer it could have got. It just came so close. And like you sit out there for days, weeks at a time. You take your weekends out there and you're out there and just nothing happens. And then this buck comes out of nowhere and I'm like, this ain't real. And I pulled the trigger and lost my damn mind. I charged out of the woods. I was running back to Bill instead of like trying to track down this deer. Like, dude, and or you're probably thinking like, shut the hell up in case there's more deer.
That's right.
Oh man, that was one of my all-time favorite experiences. But last year, we got skunked.
We did get skunked. We got one shot, and that was at running yearling. But no, last year was tough.
Man, it was brutal. I was pretty bummed last year because we put in a ton of time getting ready for that season. We went out in the woods. We built like in the corners of these woodlots. We built blinds like out of natural materials. We did all this stuff, and like just I took one shot on a doe, missed because I suck. I don't think you got a shot, and we put in some hours out there. It was like every weekend for the entire season we were out there. But you know, I've been stepping up my bow game this year. I've been practicing. Now you just need to get out there and actually shoot the dang thing. So I don't know. Which way are we going here?
Either way.
Let's take this cool boardwalk path. I've never actually hiked these trails out here at WW Night.
They're nice trails.
They are. Got a lot of water.
Got a pond behind us, and then this is a future wetland. They're just gonna let it fill in naturally over decades.
Really?
So it'll get more and more shallow.
How deep is it right now? This doesn't look super deep.
No, it's only about 3 feet.
Oh, there's a heron over there.
Gray blue heron.
Regular old heron. So this actually, WW Night is where on the TV show we filmed the first segment. We did a segment on the Maumee River, and we did that rescue session over in that pond over there.
Yes.
It was kind of cold then too. It wasn't this cold.
No, not anywhere near this.
I think you were trying to kill me on that.
There might have been a hair of that.
Flipping me over, trying to teach me all these self-rescues.
I think you got even though, because that's where Safety Bill came from.
Oh yeah. We refer to Bill on the show as Safety Bill, and he hates it so much. And I find pure joy in that. So that's kind of a good segue into our last endeavor.
Yeah.
So we may not look like it, but Bill and I can be some tough bastards sometimes. And so the backstory, I spent 3 years trying to convince people to do the Fort to Port, which in Ohio here is the full length of the Maumee River. You kayak it, and everybody wanted to do it. But the only person who showed up was Bill and our friend Amanda and my wife Christina. So like everyone's talking a big game, like, yeah, I'm down, let's do this. One of the only people that showed up was Bill. Man, we never got together after we did it and talked about it. We did it, we crammed it in. How many
4 days?
4 days.
Yeah, 137 miles.
We did it. And like, we did spend a lot of time preparing for it.
Yeah.
We did some pretty crazy prep work. We bought a lot of equipment.
A lot of last minute equipment because of how cold it was going to be.
And man, so I never got to ask you I mean, it wasn't that long of a trip, but what was your favorite kind of experience from that whole trip? I mean,
Man, I mean, you can't beat day 3 where you're running the rapids.
yeah.
I mean, that is always got to be the highlight of that stretch of river. I'd say seeing the upper river was very cool. Smelling the upper river was not cool. That was like 2 days of manure smell.
It was pretty stinky. Did you notice any differences between like the upper Maumee, kind of up towards Fort Wayne, like Western Ohio compared to like the Toledo area river?
I mean, it's actually what people think of as a river up there, as far as it has bends to it and it has undeveloped shoreline. It was weird seeing raccoons during the daylight.
That was kind of weird, actually.
And you got to figure that's just because there's no other people around. They feel like they can walk around in the daylight. Seeing turkey and all the wildlife, rather easily. It seems to be more difficult on the lower stretch. It seemed like we have way more invasive plants choking the shoreline than they do up there.
Do you think that's just because this area is more populated? I mean, I would say it's 90% farmland up on the western edge
Yes.
of the river.
And I would say that, we've monkeyed with our shoreline down here way more, homeowners, property owners, whereas farmers, they just leave it. And if you leave an ecosystem intact, it tends to stay intact longer and resist invasives better. Whereas if you go monkeying with it, then once you stop monkeying with it, the invasives move in very quickly.
Huh. And it's weird though, because we have a lot more parks along the river up here, and we got a lot more, and that's not weird that I have a lot more population, because Toledo's right here. In the middle, it's just a farm. But it is kind of weird. I mean, and I know a lot of people are really freaked out by the river itself because it's the brown water and the muddy Maumee and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of that. I've really never had any of that fear of the river. I don't know, but I've also spent a lot of time outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I already know your answer. You didn't notice anything that would affect like anything. We had a great time regardless of how dirty the water was or whatever.
Right, yeah, I've never worried about the dirt in the water, the brown. And that's not anything that's bad for you. It's the things you can't see that may or may not be there, How much E. coli were we paddling through?
Those farm fields, yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Not sure.
I mean, that was such a fun trip.
Yeah.
Because I always find that I have the most fun on the trips that have a deadline, because you have to, like, they're miserable as shit when you're doing them. Like, we put in some big miles. What was that biggest day we did?
43 and a half.
43 miles in one day.
Yeah.
You were pissed. I remember you were so damn mad at the end of that day, and it sucked. It was a bad day.
There was some hanger issues too.
Yeah, it was hungry, angry. There was a lot of, so we're 3 days into this trip already. We've already paddled, what, a 30-something mile day or a 40-mile day previous?
We did 40 and then 43.
Yeah.
So day two was the bear.
Yeah, we did a lot. So we tried to pack all the miles in early so that at the end we could kind of coat. Well, that's where the planning came in. We did a lot of planning, and we had to take a lot of what ifs. But the end is a lot harder than the beginning, because that water the backflow from the river, it just stops you.
Yeah.
And once
you earn every foot on that, last 15 miles.
But yeah, that second day where you're just, it started out good. We put in a big day the first day.
Yep.
Because we had to.
Yeah, and with, sort of a later start, we didn't get on the water until, 10:30?
Yeah, something like that.
We got to our landing, it was almost dark.
Yeah.
And by the time we got our tent set up, it was dark.
What was that? How many miles was that first day?
Just shy of 40.
And I mean, you have a lot of kayaking experience. I mean, I don't have a ton. I have a kayak. I don't know what much experience that grants me. Amanda, who was with us, had a ton of kayaking experience. You guys are both, what is it, ACA certified?
Yeah.
American
Canoeing Association.
Okay, so Amanda and Bill are legit. My wife and I own kayaks, so that was our experience level. But we've done some long distance things. And you had a lot more of the technical knowledge, maps, reading. You and Amanda kept us on track with all of that, but Christina and I had the more like endurance, long distance experience. So how was that for you, the endurance aspect of it?
You know, I didn't get any more sore after the end of day 2.
Yeah.
So the pace we were going was a pace that we could keep up.
We were cruising.
We were cruising, definitely. And you and your wife, with the shorter boats, were doing more work.
Yeah, we're used to that.
So it's a good thing you had the endurance going on, because Amanda's boat and my boat, a little bit easier to paddle, easy straight lines. So
I mean, did you feel like absolute shit though, or was it like?
No,
that's good.
Try the shoulders and a little bit of the hands being sore just from holding the paddle.
Yeah. I don't think I could have done it without gloves.
No, yeah. And I had bought a second pair of gloves like 3 days before, and they were full finger gloves.
Yeah.
And those were lifesavers on that paddle.
I mean, I know from kayaking just a little bit previous to that, just like 10-mile kayak trips or whatever, it tears your hands up. And it's not even that much, because I can deal with like a little bit of hand pain and blisters and stuff, but the damn paddle slipping all over the place, that drives me insane. It's just like trying to continuously readjust the paddle.
Yeah.
I think that screws up your shoulder even more. Yeah. So you also have done a lot of, you've always been an outdoors guy. I mean, as far as I've known you. But did you grow up doing a lot of outdoors stuff?
And both my parents, big outdoors people. My dad was a huge angler. That was his favorite pastime. And we go camping. His parents had a cottage up in the UP. We go there every summer. It's where I caught my first walleye.
Nice.
Yeah. And then after they got divorced, my mom still would take us camping, because even though she doesn't know a lot about nature, she knows how good it is to get kids out in nature. Mm-hmm. And she probably didn't count on, reptiles sort of grabbing my attention, but reptiles are great for kids. They're on the ground, they're easily accessible. She's afraid of snakes. I would bring snakes back, both to home and to the trailer when we were camping. Probably one of her scary experiences was waking up in the trailer with a hognose snake in her face. I got chewed out pretty good for that. But it's a cool snake. It's a snake that plays dead. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I always gravitate towards people who just like the outdoors, because they're not scared to do a lot of the stuff that everyone else is. Not everyone's just gonna like decide that it's okay to just go on this long kayaking trip, or not everyone's gonna decide, hey, it's 32 degrees out. You wanna go take a little stroll in the park for an hour and just kind of hang out? This is just my personal opinion. I think people who hang out outdoors are always more badasses. Even like marathon runners, all these people, even if it's not just like hiking on the trails and doing like all this stuff, they're not scared to be out in the elements, and like they're not scared of the rain, they're not scared of all the little shit that can go wrong. They just like take it as it comes. Right. I think they're always like more tough. And it's because like the average person sees a spider or a snake and they lose their damn minds. And it's like the most, to me, it's almost like, seriously, like everyone's scared of whatever, some things here and there. Like, I'm not even the biggest fan of like snakes and reptiles and stuff. Like, I don't go out of my way to hold them, but I'm not like terrified of them. I always just think like they always have that extra step where they're like, just an animal, dude. Like, yes. Like, it's just with everything. And it's cool to be around people like that because they always just
They
not
tend to be
wimpy.
a little bit more chill too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be kind of a hard ass sometimes, but
Yeah, but I'm not like one of those bouncing off the wall type hard asses.
no, not all the time.
Like, not ever.
So you like literally have a career in the parks. Like this has been your whole life. You went to school for what? Hockey?
Yep, wildlife management. And then Northwest Ohio being what it is, there's not really a lot of wildlife management jobs. What there are park districts and state parks, and they hire naturalists. And basically I had the knowledge of the resources, which is half the battle. The other half is learning how to share it with people.
Yeah.
And I had a great boss at my first naturalist job. Her name's Dana. And you want to talk about a hard ass. Watch me do this nature program. You're doing it next week. And, throw you in the pool and make you swim.
You know, it's funny. That's the same training I got from you when I was a naturalist for a little while. Hey,
It works.
I'm going to teach you this thing one time, and then you're going to go talk to 25 people about it.
Yep. I mean, fear of public speaking.
Can't have it.
You have to get over it.
Yeah.
So easiest way to get over it is to take away any crutches. So
That's the easiest way to get over anything.
pretty much.
Just forcing someone to do it.
Yeah.
And that's with anything that I'm ever doing. I kind of try and knock those crutches out from under myself, and I always try and like almost like put myself at a disadvantage so that it's harder for me. Like
Yeah.
like my like the biggest things that I hate doing is running.
Oh yeah.
Hate it. So I've been forcing myself to do
run.
it because I hate it so much. Which way are we going?
We'll
Bill's
go this way.
Okay. Bill's the guy on this one. I hate it so much. But like, I don't know, I just believe that the more you hate something and don't want to do it, the more you should force yourself to put yourself in that situation.
Yeah.
So that it's like, because if you can overcome something you really don't want to do, then like shit, you can do just about anything.
Yeah, very true. Once you conquer one obstacle and build some confidence, the next ones are easier.
I think a lot of people get this like with the fort to port thing, like you don't have to be good. I'm not a professional kayaker. I'm not a professional.
Right.
You're not a professional kayaker in a sense. You do this and teach it and stuff for a living, but
I still learn things on that trip. I've never really done, backpacking gear as camping.
what'd you think of that gear?
That was great gear. Thank you for loaning it to me.
No problem. I only have like a whole room
Right.
full of it.
But like the first time setting up and taking down tent, you and Christina helped me first time putting it up, and taking it down took 3 times as long as the rest of my group. But the next day it was only 2 times as long, and then the last day was like about equal.
You just shoved it in the bag and said,
Get in there.
yeah. And part of the stuff that I'm trying to do and like to do, and I know you guys definitely are trying to do as a park system as a whole, is like, man, this place, Northwest Ohio, is not known for having like the coolest outdoor stuff to do, which is wrong. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I've talked about this with other people, but like, yeah, there's no mountains to run, there's no mountains to climb, there's no Mount Everest around here, but man, we got a ton of water.
Yeah.
We got a ton of water. We got boogers dripping.
Yeah.
Whew, it's cold. We got the Great Lakes, all of them. You can get to any of the Great Lakes. The furthest one's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
All of them, like some of the biggest freshwater in the world. And I know there's a ton of people out there who already take advantage of those. You said hunting, fishing.
Yeah. Kayaking. It was a
Kayaking.
huge. You progress in kayaking and master the easy stuff and start getting into the new gnarly stuff. There's people that go out and surf 10-foot waves on the Great Lakes in kayaks.
I saw a dude, I think he's from Cleveland, on Instagram the other day. He had a paddleboard and he was out surfing on Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Like out in Cleveland. I thought that was so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I need to get, I don't know if we have the right waves out on our end of town.
We get them occasionally.
Man, that would be fun. I don't know shit about surfing.
Oh.
But hey,
I was watching what you need, like July and August, you need a strong northeast wind and you get the waves at our end, and then you can go learn how to surf. We had one good set last August.
you do another lap?
Sure.
Yeah, another lap.
But like this year, didn't see any good opportunities. Because that's one thing I want to start working on is surfing. Because you can catch a wave in a kayak and it can carry you like 500-600 yards easy. No paddling.
When we were doing the final day,
Yes.
there was some big waves out right before the what is that?
75 bridge.
75 bridge, I-75 highway. The Maumee River really wide, and it goes right under this bridge, and there were some waves. I think I was like almost sort of half-ass on the verge of riding some waves.
If they would have been a half foot taller, we could have rode those really well.
You know what I noticed out there? I mean, I know we took like time off work to do this. We took like
5 days, 6.
But, well, part of it was on a weekend. I know
Yeah.
you guys work in the park, so that's not normal.
Right.
We took a chunk of days off of work to do this and to recover and to prepare. But like, we literally did not see a single other person out there the whole time. We saw a guy load up a kayak, but we never actually saw
another paddler. No, we saw anglers down by Side Cut in Orleans, but yeah.
It was like the tail end of the walleye run, wasn't it?
It was, and it was a white bass run, and
Oh yeah.
the water was still only 54 degrees, so that's not water for recreation kayakers.
Yeah.
You know, we were all wearing wetsuits and synthetic clothing and dry, rain tops.
Yeah. What did you think about all that cold water gear?
I mean, you get used to it real fast. The big issue that I'd never dealt with before, living in a wetsuit for 4 days.
Whew.
Like my skin,
Yeah.
anytime it got sweaty for like the next 2 months would be itchy.
I remember texting you and being like, I think I messed up. Like, I think I did something bad. We had this, I'm sure it's normal for people who wear wetsuits all the time or whatever, they get used to it.
Yeah.
But it was all 4 of us had this, like anytime, it's like our pores got clogged up on all the way around our bodies. That was miserable.
Yeah, it was.
Because I was like going to the gym and stuff after that, even the slightest starting of sweating.
Itchy.
Whoa, it was like, that's the only thing I could imagine when someone would describe like what shingles are or something, but I don't even know if that's a good comparison.
I think shingles is deeper. This is like someone that reacts horribly to poison ivy and gets it on their whole body. That's what I was thinking.
It wouldn't stop.
Oh no. So frustrating.
And it was like, you could see it too. It was like red, splotchy, itchy,
Yeah.
pale ass white skin. Whew.
So apparently, like after we got back, I actually looked, and the way to prevent that is to dry out your wetsuit before you put it back on the next time.
Well, we didn't really have that luxury.
No, we did not.
Because it was like today the whole time almost. We had a little bit of sun.
Yeah.
It was overcast, but it was in early spring, so it was kind of a little bit, humidity was up there a little bit. It was just like,
Yeah, things didn't dry out.
nothing dries out around here. We're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
It's always humid, it's always wet. But yeah, man, there's a lot of weird stuff that happens on those longer trips like that. You experience, there's nothing that can prepare you for all of that stuff.
No.
Like my stupid, the bungees on my kayak kept falling apart. I mean, it's a brand new kayak. I spent like
You broke a foot pedal,
Broke a foot pedal off.
lost half your spare paddle.
Which, kudos to Dagger Kayaks. They sent me a brand new one for free, a new foot pedal.
Nice.
It was sweet. And it was super easy to put back on. So yeah, I snapped off a foot pedal, which I think, thinking back on it,
Led to some of your back issues.
well, I was having back issues, but I expected to have some weird, I didn't know what I was doing. Like we literally had these kayaks for like a season, and then we went out and did this. I don't know proper form. I mean, you showed me proper paddling form.
Yeah.
But like how to sit in the kayak, I have no idea. The seats have so many adjustments. You can fold your seat up higher, like at an angle, so your legs are kind of tilted up. You can lay it flat. You can pull the back up. You can move it forward, backward. You can adjust your foot pedals. I don't know. And we didn't talk about it because we're all have our own shit going on. We're all doing hard shit all day.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of cool actually that our team really rounded each other out. Like, we had a super good team out here. What are you looking at now? Oh, there's some shit on the trail.
Fox poop.
Fox poop,
I
right
believe.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Look at that. You sure we didn't drop that on the last round?
I mean, I'm sure I didn't. I'm never sure about what you're doing.
Sorry about that. But yeah, we had a sweet team. Like, we didn't really push each other in the sense of like, we need to go harder or do this.
No.
But we all had like different capabilities and we all kind of like balanced the team out.
Yeah.
Like, I think Amanda's the one who kept us all from killing each other. She's always the most
Killing
reasonable.
each other or killing ourselves?
Killing ourselves.
Okay, yeah.
She was the voice of reason
And caution.
and caution.
Yes.
Because I will just dive in and I'll probably die. Like, no, I don't know if that's true. We stopped at the bridge.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah, why don't you explain that bridge situation a little bit?
So in Waterville, they're replacing the Route 64 bridge. Well, the old one's there, the new one's going in. And they have a weir built across about a third of the river channel so they can have equipment on it. And there's an island just upstream, Granger Island. So add in all those things and you got the water doing a lot of interesting actions.
We got a dog in a little.
Doggers behind us. And you and Amanda had scouted it 3 days before and had a plan for it. And then when we got there 3 days later, the water looked completely different. Because those bridge abutments aren't in line with each other. So basically blocking even more of the channel, you know, from a straight shot under the bridges.
Well, it had rained, so the water went up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
And it just made it completely different. Like, it didn't look bad at all when we scouted it.
Yeah.
And that was an experience in and of itself. I think I was giving Amanda a panic attack. Because I don't care. I will jump out into a construction zone and run down the bridge, and I don't care. The construction workers didn't care. They were just working.
If there's not a barrier up, you're allowed to go there, right?
I just like jumped down, walked to the river. She parked in a construction zone. She could tell she was sweating it. She's like so worried that she's gonna get in trouble.
Oh.
And I was like, the worst they're gonna do is be like, hey, you can't be here.
Yeah, just move.
You need to move.
Yeah.
Oh crap. These trees smacking me in the face.
You deserved it.
Yeah, I probably do. Man, this boardwalk is pretty slippery.
Yeah, it is.
I'm about to fall over.
I've eaten it twice on here.
I would love to see that actually.
No.
I would like to see you suffer.
Nope.
Oh.
Pass. I think there's a spur to the right.
Let's do it. Let's explore that.
Do it. Yeah, so basically we peeked around the corner of the island, saw it, like, oh, tuck back into the island and get out and make a plan. And it's a pretty cautious plan because, you know, this wasn't a one-day trip. Like, if you screw up and go home on a one-day trip, that's no big deal. But like, we still had another day to go.
This is not a spur. This is a dead end.
Yes, it's a spur.
I don't know.
Spur. Get the traffic out from behind us.
Oh, maybe that.
Also, it's cool, a little area. It's a walnut grove with some oaks in it.
It is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Little bird houses, squirrel houses.
Wren houses for the most part.
But yeah, that section ended up being a little bit gnarly.
Yeah.
But I mean, around here, it's considered gnarly for the extreme kayaker. They'd probably be like, you guys are a bunch of sissies.
Yeah. I mean, whitewater boats were playing in those waves all summer long. They loved it.
And it's a, you know, when you're new to stuff like that, it's definitely not the smartest thing to just hope for the best.
Well, like a week before our trip, like what, 10, 12 people?
Yeah.
Went through there and 9 of them got flipped out of their boats.
That's ridiculous.
One dude ended up in the hospital.
None of them had life jackets either.
They didn't have them on for sure. It's questionable whether they even had them in their boat.
Which is illegal to not have them in your boat.
Yeah.
That's a hard one for a lot of people to swallow though, because so you get these rivers, like we went up to Ann Arbor for my brother's bachelor party and we went on a kayaking day trip, which is basically like chug beer all day.
Right.
The river
It's a float.
And that's what people think that the river is. And parts of it are. There are parts of that river, like
Yeah, you
I
don't.
mean, during certain times of the year, Grand Rapids to basically
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth Park, where you can do that. You ain't moving very fast. You're just kind of drifting along.
Right.
You can totally get away with the float down the river trip and have a good old time.
Yep.
But I mean, you start getting past Farnsworth, you're running rapids. If there's that construction, which isn't going to be permanent.
Right.
But that whole stretch from Farnsworth Metro Park to Sidecut is basically rapids.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, the fall through there is nice.
and you can't really go out there with a cooler of beer strapped to the back of your kayak and expect not to flip over with all that weight. It was weird going through the rapids with the weight in our boats from the gear. We'd never experienced that. We just went out there and ran through them.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was sweet, but because you imagine most people. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say most people. I have no idea. But when I go out there on a normal day, like Bill, me, Christina, and I go out on a normal day and just screw around, paddle around. I don't have anything. I have like a water bottle, maybe like some snacks or something. But my boat's completely empty besides me.
Right.
You go out there with, I don't know, 30 pounds of gear in the back.
Yeah. Yours is probably 30, and Amanda and I are probably doing about 45.
Yeah.
But
You're strapped down. The boat handles completely differently.
yes, it does.
Which, is good to know now. When we ran the rapids on the last day, you and I just kind of just picked the biggest line and went for it.
Yeah.
I remember all those fishermen out there. We just ripping through the rapids. All these fishermen are like, what the hell are these guys doing? It was awesome. We need to find another trip. You were talking about, what was that one? Some canal?
Oh, the one in New York? Yeah,
Yeah.
I never want to paddle that.
Really? It sounds that bad?
I mean, it's a canal. There's almost no flow to help you, so.
What about that paddle you do out to that island every year? I need to get
Oh,
on
the
that.
South Bass Island Kayak Rendezvous?
What's that all about?
That is camping and paddling and partying and drinking with
Count
other
me in.
paddlers. Generally, I don't know how many that campground holds, but usually about 2/3 of it are kayakers that weekend.
Nice.
So you're like with your own little tribe, all super friendly.
Yeah, I probably need to either borrow or rent a longer boat for that. I think
No,
mine's
yours
12
would
and
do
a half,
it. Yours would do it.
13.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that sounds
there's
like
people
fun.
out there with 12s.
Bill's been trying to get me to go on this thing for like 3 years. And I always have something going on during it, but I need to make an effort to do that because that sounds like it's right up my alley. Kayaks, beer,
Lake Erie.
Lake Erie.
Yeah.
I was super bummed I didn't get to go out fishing this year, really. It's been like a crazy year for me.
Yeah.
New job, working on the show, doing all this crap with you crazy bastards, and it's been a good time. But man, Bill also is the first one to take me walleye fishing
On the lake.
On the lake.
I'm not crazy enough to go do the river
the river
anymore.
The river seems sweet, but
It's tough.
I went out there and filmed it, and I've done the river once in a boat though. I've never done the wader thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole different ballgame.
It's a whole different technique and feel and set of skills.
But I loved it, man. You're out there on Lake Erie. There's a lot of people out there, but I mean, it's that anticipation. I mean, they're either like hitting like a SOB or they're not there.
Right.
And I love it, man. I noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this, which if you fish on the river, I'm sure you have. On the lake, it's like pulling up a dead weight. They're just like not doing anything. They're just like, yeah, I'm a fish, whatever. It's usually cold.
They definitely get that way, May, June, July.
Okay.
But like the few times I got out in April and early May this year, they were fighting better than I ever remember them fighting.
Well,
like they actually fought all the way up.
When I went out on the river, man, it's like, they were kicking ass. I was having a rough go.
Yeah, because you got the current, helping the fish and hurting you. So
Yeah, they were really going to town.
Yeah.
And that was a fun experience on the river because you're like nose to butt with all the other boats. Then you got on either side of you, I mean the river's pretty wide, but you got kayakers on this, or not kayakers, there's a few. You got boats on both sides of the river, and then you got a line of fishermen standing there on both sides of the river.
Yep.
So it's it's competitive. You line up with some other dude and you get your line caught around their line and catch them, they get mad.
Sometimes.
And it's a whole different ball game. But
Yeah. I've seen fist fights down there too.
really,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good time.
It doesn't happen frequently, but it does happen.
Walleye fishing is Toledo's most extreme sport. It's adventure, it's a nature sport, and there's fighting. I think it's like a good symbol of Toledo in and of itself.
I'm not throwing dirt on Toledo. I enjoy
No,
being
man,
here.
no. We got a bunch of tough MFs out here, dude. They don't play.
Nope.
You grow up, it's like only an hour from Detroit, man.
Yeah.
Got a lot of hard-working dudes out here that'll kick the shit out of you if you ain't careful. But yeah, man. Well, I think we are back at the starting point, and I want to say thank you for being on my little
You're
web
welcome.
show.
Anytime.
Tales from the Trail, the one and only Safety Bill Hoefflin. You'll be seeing more sometime soon. Peace out.
Peace out.
Hey YouTube, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe. We have so much content lined up, it's insane. I don't even know how I'm gonna edit it all and get it out to you, but I'm super stoked. So remember, please subscribe, keep coming back for more Aptitude Outdoors.